It looks like we have a lot of Pokemon news to talk about today, so Pokken Tournament might be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Also, there's been a new Pokemon online competition announced called the Tiny Tourney. The biggest part of news about this is that it means new Mega Stones will be available in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Also, Ash Cat Pikachu has received an update, and then we can go and look at the newest global mission that has just begun today. So if you want to sign up for this global mission, all you have to do is talk to the lady inside the Festival Plaza, connect to the internet, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And it's a pretty interesting global mission because it's catching Pokemon, but only through fishing and only through rare fishing spots. Now, this kind of sounds tedious and difficult, but really all you have to do is spam it at the Seafolk Village. So you go to Seafolk Village, you go inside of this houseboat right here, and then it's where you catch Delmise. You take one step out the door, you fish, you go back inside, and you fish. Now, you do have to catch the Pokemon, and items do count. So as you can see right here, the goal is to collect 250,000 Pokemon and items at bubbling fishing spots between May 30th and June 12th, so about 2 weeks. Now, I'm actually interested if this global mission will succeed, because I'm personally not interested in it, and going out and catching Pokemon has not been really good for us. Now, this is a lot more doable. Remember, for some reason, the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Pokemon Global Link, they thought we'd go out and catch 1 million Pokemon with the island scan. This is only 250,000, and you can keep fishing in rare Pokemon spots just by doing the Delmise method. Boom, you're done. Like 5 minutes, catch 5 Pokemon, call it good because you only need to catch 3 for the rare candies. But this one's going to be a bit more interesting because I don't know if people are interested. We look at things like the GTS, hatching Pokemon, or getting battle points. That's something that a lot of people were already doing, and we destroyed those goals. So I think that this is what we needed. This is what kind of keeps the global mission interesting. If there's a goal that we won't reach on the first day for once, then there actually might be some competition going around. I might just enter, not really participate too much, get the 400 festival coins if we fail, or the 4,000 if we succeed. Now, if we double that to 500,000 Pokemon and items fished at rare fishing spots, then everyone gets a lure ball. That makes sense. Also, if you catch 3 Pokemon, then that means it's going to be 5 rare candies for you, and that's kind of it. So it's your standard thing. You sign up, you participate in the event, you wait a week or two, you get the code, and then boom, you're going to get the lure ball and then the rare candies. The festival coins will be made immediately. So if you already don't have enough festival coins, or if you just want to enter because it's free stuff, go ahead and do it for the Pokemon Global Link. Just a little reminder so you don't forget to sign up. And now it's time for the biggest news update to talk about today. The Tiny Tourney will now make it to where you can receive Galladite, Gardevoirite, and Lopunnite Mega Stones. This is the one that everyone's been waiting for. Everyone wants to use their Mega Lopunny, everyone wants to use their Mega Gardevoir, and also Mega Gallade. People are still like really hyped for that Pokemon. It does an insane amount of damage, but it is for the Tiny Tourney, so it's not going to be like the International Challenge. It's not going to be a VGC based event. So build your best team using Pokemon equal to or less than 1 meter tall. So it is kind of gimmicky, just kind of get a lot of tiny Pokemon or not fully evolved Pokemon. If you just want to enter for the Mega Stones, all you have to do is participate in 3 battles. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, just complete 3 battles, so you can just take Rejects. Just take a lot of very tiny unevolved Pokemon, and that's going to work out for you. But also, there's going to be some competitive Pokemon involved as well, and then this is kind of it. So sign-up period is June 14th. I will definitely do my best to remember to tell you guys to sign up, as well as remember to enter, because these are the big Mega Stones. These are the great ones right here, and it's going to be really interesting to see how these Pokemon end up working out, because we're finally getting Mega Miniature. We're finally getting Mega Lopunny. These are Pokemon with 135 base speed that I can now compete with Tapu Koko. It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes things up. And then the event competition is going to be June 23rd through the 25th. All I have to do is just 3 battles at any time, and then it's going to be some pretty standard stuff. The competition uses the double battle format as well, so you gotta get extra creative. Other Pokemon news, we have the Univacat Pikachu, now available, has the hardy nature, knows Iron Tail, and it is usable on the Battle Spot and manual hack check right now. Also, Pikachu Z 10 million Volt Thunderbolt is only usable on Japanese region 3DSs and games. And it does make sense because the Pikachu Z Crystal only comes with this event Pikachu, and you cannot get it if you have an English DS. Even if you have a code from the movie and you have an English DS or an English game, you can't redeem it. You have to have a Japanese region 3DS or else the code will not work. So that actually means that you cannot use 10 million volt Thunderbolt unless you're cheating or unless you have an official game with the official Pikachu release. I didn't know the game actually detected that. So my question is, does it fail because it's an extremely advanced hack check, or is it just something about the Pokemon legality? This can only legally be used on a Japanese region 3DS in game. I just thought this was an interesting little note on top of the Unova Cap Pikachu. Now, also what I want to do is show you guys the Pikachu events that have been available and the level that they are received. So one way of getting a hat check is that if you see a Pikachu that's like level 100 or level 50 being distributed, and it was obtained at level 100 or level 50, then that means that it is a hacked Pikachu as well, and there's no way of getting the Pikachu Z Crystal outside Japan or outside this event except through hacking. So be aware of all the hacking that is going on, especially right now, because I'd imagine that since this just became available, it's going to be hacked into oblivion. So any Pikachu that you receive on the GTS, 100% cheated. Anyone on the Wonder Trade, 100% cheated, and that's because of the special ribbon. That ribbons cannot be traded over Wonder Trade or GTS, so any of those events that you see will be illegal. So any events like that you see will be illegal, and also we can see the levels, and also the special moves that come with this Pikachu. And then the next distribution will begin on June 14th, and then it'll appear again. So these Pokemon, these Pikachu events are going to cycle through, and then you can use this page for your own reference as to what is legal on the Ash Cap Pikachu. And then last up, we have the update for the Pokken Tournament. This is a rumor because there's going to be a fight stick for the Nintendo Switch, and it was listed on the Japanese retailing website that it is usable with Pokken Tournament. Now, this is not a confirmation. Could have just been a typo. Maybe they were just trying to sell their product, like, oh, you guys really want this fight stick, you're going to play Pokken Tournament, and then, oh wait, Pokken Tournament isn't on the Switch? Never mind, we got it wrong. Or maybe they have that insider information, that they've heard that Pokken Tournament's coming to the Switch, so naturally that's going to be a great way of promoting your game, since it is a fight stick only for the Nintendo Switch, which means other fighting games are also going to get usage on it, and that could spice things up quite a bit. So what do you guys think? Was this a screw up and Pokken Tournament is coming to the Nintendo Switch, or are they just kind of having no idea what they were talking about and they got a little too hype a little too quickly and they made a simple error? That's why at this time it's just a rumor, but it is something to consider because Pokken Tournament, I think it actually did fairly well, but the Wii U was already dead by the time it came out. That if you didn't buy it for Super Smash Bros., you're not going to be buying it for Pokken Tournament. I've actually really wanted to play Pokken Tournament, but I didn't care enough to get a Wii U. I have a Nintendo Switch now, so I'll definitely give Pokken Tournament a shot if it comes out to the Nintendo Switch, and we'll see if the fight stick kind of changes things. Also, Pokken Tournament is still getting good tournament support from what I've seen so far, decent cash prizes, and also a miniature tournament circuit, so if it comes to Nintendo Switch, that would just help keep the game alive. Still waiting for Super Smash Bros. Though. Give us Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros., and then everything will be amazing. And then I did want to talk about one last thing for the Tiny Tourney, so strategy. I don't think I'm going to be doing like a separate Tiny Tourney strategy video because I don't really care enough to like go for a super hard rating for this one. I'm just going to do my 3 battles, grab my Mega Stones, and leave because Mega Lopunny is the hype right now. So there's actually some really scary Pokemon that are going to be usable because it's not Little Cup, it's just a height restriction. So as you can see right here, Kartana. A majority of the most powerful Pokemon aren't permitted in Tiny Tourney, but the tiniest Ultra Beast fits the criteria perfectly. Expect Kartana to make a sizable impact on the competition. I mean, Kartana is going to be absolutely devastating. That's going to have the highest attack out of anything in the tournament. It's going to have some of the highest speed out of anything in the tournament. And if you hit it with a physical hit, it still might survive. So, I think that the Tiny Tournament, even, like, you look at this, and this is a little bit misleading. You know, you're not going to see Munchlax, you're not going to see the Sandygast, you're probably going to see Mimikyu, and you might see Pachirisu, because Pachirisu is usable in doubles, and this is going to be a doubles tournament. So we're going to see if someone goes for full-on Seijun, but in a tinier little version, and then there's Kartana there to tear it up. Also, Rotom will be available, and the interesting thing is Porygon is also usable as well, and then surprise Shedinja talk. So if you want to go and look into this article right here, it does give some good insight as to what's going to be available for the Tiny Tourney, because I was a little surprised while I was reading through this. I thought, whoa, that's going to be usable. Kind of crazy. And one thing I'll also link in the description below is a list of Pokemon by height, because there's some really surprising height. That this is right here, 1 meter and below. So all the Pokemon that you see right here are going to be usable, and I was actually very surprised at some of the fully evolved or just really strong Pokemon that are under a meter tall, because that's kind of like the thing. If you're from US, this might feel weird because, yeah, we're not going under a foot, just a meter. So we got 3 feet of room to play with. Everyone else that does the correct system of measurement, you guys already know what's up, because, yeah, there's Pokemon like the Sandslash. Does Alolan Muck fall into it? Unfortunately, this is kind of weird because it's 1.0 to 1.2 meters. And Muck is actually going to be a 1. Oh, Alolan. Wow. So that's some weirdness right there. Alolan Muck is actually shorter than regular Muck. It's 1.0 meters compared to the 1.2 meters of the regular Muck. So Alolan Muck is usable as well because it has to be equal to or less, and it is equal to 1 meter. So yeah, that means Alolan Muck, Magneton, all these Pokemon are usable. Maybe Alolan Graveler if you just go for like the explosion gimmick on that Galvanized. Beedrill is going to be usable. However, as we can see right here, Mega Stones will not be available. So Pokemon can hold items including Mega or Z Crystals, but Mega Stones will not be allowed. So some Pokemon can actually Mega Evolve as a tiny Pokemon, but they're not going to be allowed for this tournament, and Z Crystals will be usable. So you can get one massive Z nuke. I recommend Z and then something fire so you can blow up a Kartana. That's kind of the most I've got to say, or maybe a water-type and then if you're running Kartana, run a water-type Pokemon or something that can switch out, because if they have a fire-type move that could potentially be Z moved, don't protect on your Kartana, switch out into something that can resist it, and that's going to keep your Kartana safe. So I do have a little bit of strategy to talk about. Porygon Z. You can go Z conversion on the Porygon Z. Porygon Z is a smaller than 3-foot Pokemon. That's actually kind of crazy right there. Espeon, a lot of the evolutions are going to be available as well, apparently. Hawlucha, Glaceon, Shedinja. So as you can see, like, you just really need to kind of go through this list of Pokemon right here. There is going to be a lot of usable Pokemon for the tiny tournament. I mean, Comfey is going to be available. That's a pretty solid support. Wishy-Washy. I guess that's going to be usable. Was it mentioned here? Okay, Wishy-Washy. Yeah, that's another crazy one. Trick Room team should give Azumarill, Ferrothorn, Escavalier, Wishy-Washy, Marowak a longer look than they otherwise might have thought for a different competition. So yeah, you can definitely run something crazy with the Trick Room. A lot of Trick Room Pokemon do get it. Mimikyu. Mimikyu falls under this, and you can just run like the Fear Mimikyu, I guess. Or at least get a Trick Room Mimikyu out there. Wishy-Washy, Marowak. All these, like, so it's kind of weird when you think about Pokemon that are still available for usage with the tiny tournament. Because, like, again, like, I feel that this is a little misleading right here. You think, oh, they're going to be small little Pokemon, but there's a lot of fully evolved Pokemon and a lot of already powerful meta Pokemon that are going to be usable in this tournament. Can maybe find usage for the Pyukumuku. Kartana always surprised me, because, like, you see it in game, and it's just a foot. It's just a foot tall. But I guess they had, maybe Kartana was like the only reason why they did this, unless they banned Ultra Beast or something, that, you know, say if it was like 1 foot or less, so like a strange Little Cup kind of setup, that you could potentially have like Mimikyu and Wishy-Washy on the same field as like a Cottony and a Fletchling or something. But Kartana, yeah, it's so small that it kind of breaks all this. Minior is going to be useful as well, so maybe a chance to Pachirisu Minior, guys. Someone go Pachirisu Minior. Because what you do is you go Shell Smash on the Minior, and then you just have Pachirisu use that Follow Me, and then you got good damage. Also, it is a Pokemon that can use Rock Slide. So you Rock Slide both opponents, chance to flinch, high amounts of damage, get stabbed. Pachirisu's there with the Super Fang for extra damage if it needs to. I don't know. That's what we got. So Pachirisu might make a return, and I think that that's going to be another combo to look out for. I'm going to be very disappointed if Pachirisu does not get like top 10 in the tiny tourney or something like that. But other than that, we have new Mega Pokemon and a new global mission. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.